Welcome back to another 9 Limits video. This time we're delving back into the 1VD swapped Jeep Gladiator of mine. So, yep, stay tuned and we'll get some things ticked off this list and get one step closer to firing this thing up. Righto, so what we're going to try and tackle today is getting all this valley put back together. All the horrible bits that go into fitting a starter motor to one of these engines. Right. Up here. Yeah, so before I got it, someone actually stole the starter, or didn't steal, they took the starter out of it, I'm guessing for another engine. And nothing was ever put back to, because they didn't care. So none of the intakes actually bolted on properly. A lot of these fuel lines are just sitting here, and there is a couple of bits missing from down in the center. So like I said, today I'm gonna pull this off again and clean it up in there and start reassembling it correctly. So like I said, we're getting closer to actually starting this thing up. Oh, you sulk! Stop it! No. Sulking dog. I'm going to keep cleaning and bring you back to show you the end result. Righto, getting this thing back together. It's been doing a heap of cleaning, so nothing too exciting, and a little bit of starting to reassemble. So I've got the water lines from the back of the head, where it runs right down in under this little plenum, the lower part of the intake, up to here. So that's all been fitted. The fuel cooler's fitted, starter's in, which isn't a terrible location, but in all honesty there is nowhere else for that starter to fit, so that was the best Toyota could come up with. And when you look at the rest of the motor you can understand why. Yeah, so righto, our next step is to put the upper piece of intake on, which I've got it as clean as I can. It's this mixture of exhaust gas and oil from the EGR system on these is just terrible, so you know, we'll get the next piece on and keep putting it together. Righto, that's got the intake sitting in there. Fits in a lot nicer now, because there was actually this back hole had a dowel in both the lower piece and the upper piece, so it goes to show that's actually not the upper intake manifold for this engine, but it's going to do the job. Yeah, there's nothing different about them, so now I'll go through and find some bolts and we'll bolt him all down. Righto, that's got it all back together in the top there. As far as it's going to go, it's about ready to start putting a wiring loom on this thing. And I still need to modify this side inner guard, but that's alright. Charge pipes on from the turbo up to here, so that's all done. Yeah, all the fuel systems together, all the high pressure side of it. Just got to get around and mounting the fuel filter assembly up on the firewall so I can go from these to that assembly. And I'll have hard line, should be here during the week, to go to the fuel tank. One of the other little jobs that I have to do on this one is I'm actually pulling the AC compressor off this thing. So I don't have air conditioning, I don't have a heater, so it's a bit of a waste. This one's no good, all the front's actually missing off it. So instead of spending the money on a brand new aircon compressor to put there, I'll pull this one off and I'll show you what we're going to do. And there's a different bolt. What's going on with that? So this is what we're putting on in the place of that aircon compressor. It's this nice little bracket with a pulley. This is actually what used to come on them when they turned up before you fitted air conditioning to them. So I've pulled off many of these and thrown them away, and now I had to actually go and buy one. So yeah, hoarding didn't actually pay for me. I normally would have kept something like this, but I didn't for some reason. Alright, I can't put the AC delete pulley on. I don't have bolts for it, so I'm going to track some of them down on Monday. So, can't put it off any longer. There is the giant wiring loom. Actually part of it, it's not even all of it. So, I'll get this thing laid out on the motor and we'll start to see this coming together. Righto, so got the bonnet back on, it's all packed up. We had a storm coming in there yesterday afternoon, so kind of rushed to pack up. Didn't actually film a bit of an ending to this video, so it's a little bit hard to see in under here. But all the harness is actually connected to the motor now. I've got injector drivers sitting over on the inner guard on that side that need to be secured, and the harness runs over here to this big plug, which will end up about there once we mount the ECU in here. I said all the high pressure fuel lines are all done, so I just need to do the fuel filter and the fuel lines to the tank. Same as I need to get some bolts to fit that delete pipe, the delete bracket for the AC compressor. So that, yeah, but that got a fair bit of work done on the old girl over the weekend. Definitely a lot closer to actually getting it running, which would be fantastic. Yeah, as I said, there's a few parts I need to chase up, just get some bolts and that during the week. And my fuel lines are on order, they should be here this week. And just getting over that box. Bit of a mess here at the moment. I did roughly mark in a guard of where I need to make a piece in it to clear that charge pipe off the intercooler, the turbo. And I will cut it and put a battery in that one as well. I have marked the inner guard, so I know where I've got to actually make a relief in it to fit around the charge pipe from the turbo, where it runs from there up to the intercooler. And I will need to actually make a spot in that for a battery, but it's going to be exactly the same as the battery I did on that one. So if you want to see how I did the battery setup, I'll post a link just here to the video of that one. So I'll put a little card up there, and you can go and see me put a battery in the other Jeep. So this will be exactly the same thing. Yeah, well, if you like the video, hit the subscribe, like, all those sort of things. Despite what my brother says, it's not a scam. Just, it doesn't cost you anything. Help me out. So yeah, if you can do that, and it's not a scam, you know who you are. It's not a scam. Right, and then we'll catch you in the next one, won't we? You don't care, do you?